Evening. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. One of the last weeks of the school, I had a young man and his mom come to the class. They brought their own horses and they drove down from Michigan. When they watch this, they'll recognize themselves. You guys don't be afraid. There's nothing bad here, okay? They came in, and I think basically the mom wanted to come, but she didn't want to come by herself, so she talked her son into coming with her. Now both of them are experienced, and he's a hand. He's 17 years old. I guess this year he went to the national high school national finals rodeo and placed in that, and he knew what he was doing. He was a good hand. He sat a horse really well. He had good hands. He had a big, beautiful gray mare, big, nice gray mare. That was his roping mare, rodeo mare, and she was a good mare, but she was always up here in her energy level. When we would go out, she would just be really excited, really energetic, moving, trotting, moving around, just not out of control, not dangerous, but just way up here. About Wednesday, I went to him before we went out. He had saddled his horse and he was there. And so I asked him, I said, look, with your permission, what do you think about if we put a snaffle bit in this horse's mouth? Now, for those of you who don't know, a snaffle bit is just a bit, the part in the mouth is just a smooth bit. It's broken, and it just has the rings on the side. There's no shanks, no nothing. Just a simple snaffle bit. And he's very respectful young man. And I could see in his eyes, he wasn't really convinced that might be what was needed, but he went along with it. He said, sure, we'll give it a try. So we did. Now, he normally rides her with the shank bit that he uses rodeoing. So, and he got on her, and we had space out there, and I'm standing on the ground. And I told him, I said, now listen, this is what I want you to do. As long as you're safe and everybody around you is safe, I don't want you to pull her in. Now, you folks who are not horse people, just stick around, okay? We're going somewhere, all right? I said, I don't want you to pull her in. I don't want you to don't want you to slow her down. I want you just kind of basically guide her so she doesn't run into anything and let her go. And he said, okay. So I'm standing on the ground and said, now I want you to relax. Just relax. Don't push on the stirrups. Relax your feet. Don't squeeze your knees. Just relax. Just kind of bring your energy down. Bring your energy down. Concentrate on yourself, not the mare. Bring it down. And so we went around there, and after a little bit, that mare, her head's up here, and she's trotting around, and after a little bit, she just kind of calmed down, put her head down, and just went to walking around. And he said, man, he said, as long as I've had this horse, she's never been like this. Never been this calm. We went, then we headed out on the trail, went riding, and her head was down. And she just down. And I told him, I said, son, you're a good hand. And he is. You set a horse very, very well. And you've got nice, quiet hands. The only thing is you ride with rodeo energy. And you need to develop cowboy energy. The thing about a horse is, either their energy is going to affect you, which never works out good, or you affect them with your energy. So you get a horse that's all jacked up, you get on there, instead of heavy hands and mechanical bits and a fight and trying to bring them down and physically bring them to your will, you use your energy and get them to react to it. If you ever get a chance to go out and spending time with working cowboys, and not even cowboying, just around, and I'm talking about real cowboys. I'm not talking about this fake Yellowstone stuff or some of these young TikTok cowboys. I'm talking about real working cowboys. You ever spend time with them, they have their own energy. That energy is just a calm, competent, self-assured, quietly get in there and get the job done. Because if you're working cattle, the best way to work cattle fast is to work cattle slow. You go in there with a high rodeo energy when you're pushing cattle, and you're going to bust the herd and they're going to go all over the place. You go in with a high rodeo energy and get on a horse, and they're going to come up to your energy level. Now that works the other way too. So last week my dad came down to visit. Sorry, Dad, but you're going to be an illustration now. All right, my dad is by no means, he's not green or inexperienced, been riding his whole life, all right? But he hadn't been on a horse in several years. He's 76 and he's in poor health. But he wanted to ride a horse one more time. So he came down, and so I put him on Mouse. Now you guys that are familiar with the channel, you're familiar with Mouse. Mouse is my calmest, most dependable, most well-broke horse. He's the horse that I ride most. He's my personal ride. So I put him on Mouse, and we're going out through there, and Dad's like, it's like he doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't just set a pace. He's not just walking down the trail. I'm just sitting up here. I'm just going to be a passenger. You know, I don't want to get hurt, which I can't fault him for that. But Mouse was not deliberate, because Mouse is used to me riding him, and I ride with Cowboy Energy. And so he didn't get that Cowboy Energy, so he didn't know what to do, because he knows to follow his rider. So it works both ways. Now, how does this apply to you? When you have let's use the illustration, a discussion that you need to have with your spouse or your significant other or your boss or a fellow employee at work, and you know that discussion is probably going to start out here. If you go into that with rodeo energy, it's a safe bet you're going to have a rodeo. You understand what I'm saying? When you approach life with rodeo energy, it's a pretty safe bet you're going to have a rodeo. But when you approach it with Cowboy Energy, you can de-escalate that down. So whatever your ride is, you can affect that ride, you can affect that outcome by your energy. Some of it, your life is stalled out. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. That's because you need to come from another direction. And you need to come up and you need to approach it with Cowboy Energy. You need to come in with confidence. You need to come in with courage. You need to come in with assurance that you're going to open that gate and you're going to ride in there and you're going to sort stuff out. You're going to sort stuff out. Okay? I think a lot of things in life can be avoided and fixed if we just learn to approach life with Cowboy Energy. All right? So, a little short video today, just a little bit of encouragement. Partagas Black Label, you guys are asking. Look, I'm not, folks have interest in cigars, and so they ask, what are you smoking? These are just the things that are in my humidor that I like. There's nothing going on here. These are just cigars that I like. And the folks who smoke cigars, they want to know, hey, what is that stick? Because it's something that's very interesting to us, okay? But anyhow, listen, tomorrow, you've got to ride the mount that's assigned to you. You know, on a ranch, especially in the old days, the cowboys rode the ranch horses. And the guy that was called the wrangler, he was in charge of the ranch horses, and he brought out the horses, and you got the horse that was assigned to you. And whatever the horse was assigned to you, that's the horse that you ride. And if you've got your own horse, that horse is not the same every day. One day that horse is ready to go, the next day that horse doesn't want to go. You've got to ride the horse that shows up. And tomorrow, whatever horse shows up for you to ride, just approach that horse with Cowboy Energy. And you affect the outcome by your approach to it, by how you approach it, by your attitude, by the energy that you bring to it. So if you need to have a discussion with somebody that is of a subject or a nature that might not be positive for both, you control that. with a confident, competent energy, and you come in and say, look, not going to get upset, not going to get mad, not going to get scared, not going to come all fired up. We're going to make this mare slow down, drop her head, and walk around. Not by yanking on its mouth, not by squeezing with the knees, but by just calm, confident cowboy energy. All right? Wish you guys all the best, and we'll catch you next time.